President, I come to the floor today, and having just heard the senator from Vermont talking about the nation in its effort to recover from the coronavirus crisis, the economic crisis as a result, and other important issues affecting our country. And I heard him say we have not done enough and need to do more, specifically with an economic recovery, with the coronavirus recovery. And it sounded like almost a liberal wish list of a government providing for food, clothing, shelter, and income for every American. Well, Mr. President, I come to the floor today to tell you what we have done in a historic way, because in March we passed the largest economic rescue package in the history of this country, trillions and trillions of dollars. This Senate and the House and the White House went all in to respond to and help us as a nation recover from the coronavirus crisis. Last week, the Senate passed and the President signed another bipartisan bill to help our small businesses across the country. It's the Paycheck Protection Program Flexibility Act. That's what people in Wyoming were asking for this very successful Paycheck Protection Plan. Flexibility. So it would be easier for our small businesses to use the relief funds. Mr. President, 11,000 businesses in Wyoming took over $1 billion of loans, and it is keeping our economy alive, life into the economy, life breath into the economy, and allowing paychecks to continue to be paid as our businesses reopen. Mr. President, all across the country, this job-saving effort is working, because last month, the U.S. economy added 2.5 million jobs. It smashed all expectations. It was the largest single month of job growth in this nation in the history of our great country. Americans literally ran out the door, the front door, and back to work. Now, unemployment was down in May. It defied all of the forecasts and defied what we just heard the senator from Vermont talking about what his expectations had been. We are headed for a faster economic rebound than anyone has imagined. Across the country, the state lockdowns have been ending. States have started to safely reopen. Small businesses are opening. People are going back to work. Yet I thought I heard the senator from Vermont say he was thinking that half of all of the small businesses in America wouldn't be able to reopen again ever. Mr. President, young people are going to be going back to school. K through 12 schools, colleges are planning to reopen this fall. Of course, I don't think any of us were surprised to see the University of California system say they're going to stay closed until 2021, until next year, all 10 campuses, because in California, one size fits all. But for the rest of our nation, the schools and the colleges are reopening. Students will be heading back to campus. There's a return to normal routines. It's going to boost our communities. As the American recovery begins, we are going all in to keep people safe, and that's a big part of it, Mr. President. And that means more virus testing, more treatment, better treatment, and vaccines. Innovations are rapidly expanding testing. The country has now performed more than 22 million coronavirus tests. Nearly 500,000 tests are done every day, including today. Our researchers, our scientists, our doctors are making record progress on a vaccine. We're calling this effort Operation Warp Speed. It is a public-private partnership with companies producing a vaccine for the American people that will then be used around the world. The private sector finalists will soon be announced. The government will support their vaccine work, will assist with clinical trials, and will prioritize review of the most promising vaccines. One of the companies, called Moderna, is in phase 2 trials, plans to start phase 3 in July, with the Food and Drug Administration approval as then the final step. Another company, AstraZeneca, plans to hold combined phase 2 and phase 3 trials over the next few months. AstraZeneca just announced a new partnership with the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. So, Mr. President, our military is joining in this public-private partnership. This project may deliver emergency vaccines as early as October, which would certainly be record-breaking. The pharmaceutical company Merck will conduct trials in July. Johnson & Johnson plans phase 1 and phase 2 trials for July as well. Pfizer hopes to have a vaccine ready by October. The goal, Mr. President, is to make a safe, effective vaccine and make it available to all Americans by January of 2021. Operation Warp Speed partners want to beat this, and they want to make that their most ambitious goal, beating timelines that have never been beaten before, breaking the records. And at the same time, a number of other companies are pursuing a vaccine independently. America's researchers, scientists, doctors have dropped everything and are working in overdrive. They have gone all in. One major drug company CEO said yesterday that there will be no big price for the coronavirus vaccine. Every company should make that same pledge. Every company, Mr. President, should make that same pledge. This is a tremendous opportunity for companies to do the right thing, to make the vaccine as accessible as any vaccine in the history of our nation. The goal as we begin to recover from this crisis is clear, and it has been clear. We want to keep Americans safe and get them back to work. Together, that's what we must all endeavor to do. Thank you, Mr. President, and I yield the floor.